Hi. Okay, so let's have a look at how we can get the relevant printer drivers, media configuration tools and ICC profiles onto your PC or laptop so that we can start using the fantastic papers from Canson Infinity. First thing to do would be to download the printer driver. You'll find this if you nip onto the Canon website, check out support, you should be able to find your way to the Pro 300 screen, where you will see you've got lots of things here. You can check firmware and stuff, but we're going to be dealing with drivers and we do need some software. So initially, get yourself to the driver page. Make sure obviously you're working on the right system. I'm working on Windows 10, so I have chosen the Pro 300 driver setup package. Make sure you pick this one and just click download, follow all the instructions and download that set of drivers to the PC or laptop. Second thing, come back to this screen and click on software, and we need a piece of software off here. Again, make sure you're in the right system and scroll down, and at the bottom you'll see a media configuration tool. We're going to need this to take some of the information from the ICC profile download stage and actually embed it within the printer, so it makes printing much speedier in future and a lot easier. So click download on that and get that on your machine as well. So after those two stages, you should have the printer driver and the media configuration tools software on your machine. Then, and this is the bit that I'd like to show you in a bit more detail, we need to nip over to the Canson Infinity website and get hold of the profiles, and I'll show you what to do with them. So first thing to do, find the Canson Infinity website, cansoninfinity.com, click on the link. When you get onto this website, you'll see it's got a menu bar, second item in ICC profiles, that's where we want to be. Let's click on that. Enter the printer brand, in this case it's a Canon, enter the printer model, scroll down and you should be able to find the Pro 300. You'll now see there's a whole host of fine art media over here on the left, and one of the things that I'd like to just point out, the reason we have these ICC profiles, the reason they're all different is because the papers are all different. So for example, something like this paper here, Barita Prestige 2, this is a high gloss shiny media with a barium sulfate coating. That will need different amounts of ink with the different colours to produce an accurate result of our image than this paper, Arch 88, which is a 310 gram pure matte, very smooth paper. So the different surfaces, the different textures and the different sort of shiny or matte finishes, they all need the ink laying down slightly differently. So the guys at Canson Infinity, they've taken these papers, they've run patches for this printer, the patches are then read through a spectrophotometer and they get all the accurate information that tells your print head how much ink to let through when it's making these prints. So if we pick the right profile for the right paper, we should get perfect results every time. The thing that's quite interesting about this printer, and this is where it's a little bit different, is that they've incorporated these AM1X files, and all this is, it's an automated system. So as I'm about to show you, when you download the profiles, we can use the AM1X file data to actually make options within the printer itself. So where you go into the Canon printer and you'll see like Canon Gloss, Canon Matte, a bit lower down there'll be the Canson Infinity options as well, embedded within the printer. So we're just going to do one for now. Obviously you can choose as many as you like, but I'm just going to do the Arch 88 310 gram. And I'm going to click the word download. This is going to bring up a little zip file. Click that. I'm using this software at the moment. Whatever software you've got to unzip things is fine. I'm just going to double click the ICC box, and here is the zipped file. Highlight that and I'm going to extract it. Now we need to put it in the right folder. So when you're working with things like Photoshop, when you say file print and you look for the ICC profile, it needs to go in a certain window, and that window is the Windows System 32 spool drivers color area. So I'll just show you how to do that. So it's asking me where it wants me to put it, and here you can see that we've got OSC. This is the operating system for your main computer. So click the little plus box, that opens up a subfolder. Scroll down to find Windows, scroll down to find System 32, course, you could type all this in that little path here, but I'm showing you the long-winded way. Scroll down, after System 32, we want spool, and then drivers, and then hit the colour box, the actual word colour, and just say OK. And that will, once we've said yes to the thing, it will put that data in the right folder. You can see I've already done this, but I'm just going to overwrite it by saying yes again. So that's it. We've actually put the ICC profile into the computer in the right area. Now all we need to do is put the data from the ARCH88 profile into the computer so it can make a little button that will help us when we print. So to do this, we need to go and find it. So I'm going to do some quick access this time. So if you remember, it was in Windows /system32/spool/drivers/color. I could have probably clicked something a little earlier there, but hey ho. And here's that folder that we downloaded it to, and here we will find the ARCH88 data. So you can see it's brought in the zip, and it's brought in the ICC profile and the AM1X file. Now the thing that's really good about this is if I double click that, because we've downloaded the media configuration tool, it will search for any Canon printers that can use this data. So hopefully it's going to find the Canon Pro 300, which I installed earlier. And here it is. So it's found the Pro 300, just highlight it and say OK for now. And then another screen will come up. And it's now found the paper that I've highlighted here, the one that we're trying to do the automatic process on. So I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to click Add. And by clicking Add or Update, it's now going to make this an option within the printer. So we can choose that paper direct from the printer. It's saying that it's already added. I've obviously done this before, but I'm going to say yes to overwrite it, so you won't see that box. It will just do this little bit that you can see now. So it's using, as you can see, the media configuration tool, and it's now updating the actual lists that are on the printer. So we'll just give that a second. It doesn't take long. It now brings up a file that's asking us to update the media on the driver. So click Printer Driver, say yes to the automated process. We get two options. The thing we want to do is update media information, so let's just click that box and then click Execute. Say OK. And it's now adding it. And that's it. So that's done. So now we've downloaded the printer driver, we downloaded the media configuration tool, we've gone into Canson Infinity's site, popped the ICC profiles in, we've extracted them to this folder, we've double clicked the AM1X thing file, and we've actually added something to the printer. So let's just double check that. So I'm going to just go into Photoshop. Obviously you repeat that for all the papers, so you can see here ARCH-BFK, there's an AM1X file, ARCH-BFK Pure White, there's an AM1X file. So I do them one at a time, I just double click them and then find the printer just as I've just shown you. So let me just close that out of the way. So if I open up a file, let's just pick something that we've just printed out. Let's pick this image for example. The only thing I will say, I'm connected obviously via USB, is it could be a little bit faster, but it doesn't matter. So say this is an image that I've just cropped at about 18 by 12 inch. So let's just do File Print, go to the Print dialog box, and I'll show you how this Pro 300 works. So there's the picture. If we choose the Canon Pro 300 printer and then click Print Settings, we just have to give it a few seconds. Like I say, I think it's because I'm connected just via the USB, so it's not the fastest. But that should be going on to the print settings any second now. Here we are. So I like to choose photo printing. I've done various tests and they're all fantastic. Make sure borderless printing is ticked, because when you print an 18 by 12 picture on an A3+ sheet, if you don't tick that, it can get a bit confused on the edges. If you tell it it's borderless, it's fine, it can print this even though it's close to the edge. Also, in this colour manual adjustment box, I do tick it, I go into matching and I make sure that it's set to none. which means that the printer won't try and do anything, so it will let Photoshop handle the colours. Here in the media type, if you wanted to use some of the Canon paper, it's all there. But the thing is, if you click on custom at the bottom, these are the ones that I've added. So the one we've just added is here, which is the Arch 88. So we've actually added these as native options now. So we've told it that it's Arch 88. So the printer, because of the data that's embedded, will know how thick that paper is, what type of paper it is, whether it's matte or shiny, photo black. Here you would just set your print paper size, so I've set it to A3. So that's it, that's the printer setup. We now come back into this screen, so this top part is done, and all we need to do now is make sure that Photoshop is handling the job, because we've turned off everything in the printer as far as colour management. So click where it says printer manages colours, if indeed it does, because what you want it to say is Photoshop manages colours. So let's just select that. And then we can choose a profile. This will light up, and we just need to choose the profile. So these are the ICC profiles, not the AP1X. So the ICC profile for the Arch 88 is there. Now, one thing I want to tell you just before I end this video, make sure black point compensation is ticked. Down here at the bottom, you can see I've ticked match print colours. If I take that off, we get a nice contrasty picture. If I turn it on, it looks a little bit softer. So this is emulating the paper. So the Arch 88, remember, is a matte, smooth paper. So we're going to get slightly, the way the blacks and colours are laid down will be slightly different to if it's a gloss paper. But this little box here, rendering intent, is very important. If you hover over one of the things, it will tell you in the description just underneath what is happening to the colours. You can see this is relative colorimetric, which it's come up with, which it wanted me to use. And if you just look at the water area here around the waterfall, if I turn that to perceptual, if you keep your eye on the water, you'll see that it all goes a little bit more contrasty. And this is a nice, richer finish now. So this is what we will be getting on our print. Other things will have different effects, but I always use perceptual with all the Canson papers. And that's it, we're now ready to print. So we've set, in the Canon, we've set the data for the Arch 88. So the printer, remember, knows everything it needs to know. And then in here, in the colour management box, we've just made sure that Photoshop's in charge, and we've popped the profile in, and then we can just go ahead and print. So that's it. That's how you set it up, and that's how you get using it. Sorry. And it really is a superb printer. I'll be going around the country with it, and looking forward to showing people the prints that really are stunning that you can achieve with this really nice A3+ printer from Canon. So that's it. Thank you very much.